In the previous demo, I showed you how to create this hole. Your challenge is to see if you can create the remaining holes based on what you learned on the previous exercise. Also, this hole was not the correct size. The correct size should have been the ones I created over here and depth. So, if I open up hole number 2 and double click that hole, I used a 3/8 inch diameter hole and the depth of the hole is a 1/2 inch. Challenge yourself to see if you can modify this hole to match the dimensions of this hole here, hole number 2. Do you recall what I said to do to change an existing part without having to delete it and start over? Try this on your own. You can pause the video. If you can't figure it out, then continue to hit the play video and you'll see how it's done. So to change hole number 1, I simply double click it. I don't have to recreate it. Okay, and I just change those values. So I'm going to delete holes 2 through 4 and show you how I created them. I'm highlighting them using the shift or control button and I hit delete on my keyboard and I'll select OK and it will remove those holes. This hole was the incorrect size. I double click it. Anytime you want to change anything on Catia, simply double click it and you can change the diameter to 3 divided by 8, which is 3/8. If I hit tab, it will go and show me the 0.375 value. It will convert it to decimals for me. On the depth, I want that to go a 1/2 inch deep and I hit tab and I can select OK and I now successfully modified the hole size and depth. To add the next hole, you simply select hole and remember, grab the edges you want to measure from. So I'm going to grab this edge and I'm going to slightly rotate that and zoom in and get closer to this part. I don't want to grab that line by mistake. I want to make sure I grab this edge and then I'm going to make sure I grab somewhere on that face. And I'm just kind of going to guesstimate where the middle was and about 1 inch over. I'm just guessing. So this is 3/4 of an inch. If I double click that 3/4 of an inch, I can change that to 1 inch in the pop-up window. And 0.503. Oh, I was within engineering tolerance already. I'll double click that though and I'll make it a nice perfect 0.50 and select OK. And it creates the hole. It remembers the last parameters I used, so when I double click this, I can verify that it's 3/8 and a 1/2 inch deep. So from here on out, all holes will be 3/8 and a 1/2 inch deep. I will again demonstrate this one more time under holes. You simply grab an edge and another edge and then pick this face. Double click this and change this to 1 inch. I like to move this out a little bit. Double click this. Sometimes you have to zoom in real close so you can see what you're doing. I'm going to grab that dimension and move it out here so I can actually work with it. I'll double click this and I'll change it to 0.5 and select OK. Alright, and that creates that last hole. Well, you know what? I said I'd demo it one more time, but we'll do it one last time. I'll show you how I did the final hole. I'll select the hole. I'll select this edge, select that face, select this one here. Change this to 1 inch. Okay, and then again, it does not hurt to zoom up so you can actually see what you're doing. I'll move this dimension off this part so I can make sure I don't click on anything else. I'll double click that and I'll change it to a 1/2 inch. Notice again the diameter and depth are already set. I select OK. I'm going to use my view tab to do an ISO view to reclock it and then hit fit all in, and that is how this part should look at this point. Remember, I would save the part along the way, so you can hit your save command. Just simply hit save and it saves it by default to whatever collaboration you currently have active. Okay, so that way you can always come back to this point if you need to. All right, that concludes how to create holes.